Wonderful. Well, again, I'd like to welcome everyone to this educational packed webinar that we're going to have today. We have people from all over the country that are joining us, so I want to welcome you. And I'm just so glad to be here today. I became involved with credit restoration many, many years ago when my husband and I needed to fix our credit. And that was my first opportunity to learn how the credit game is played. And it is a game. No one taught us how to, manage our credit, how credit cards worked. So through the years, I had to learn the hard way. And what a blessing it was to have a company like United Credit Education Services cross my path many years ago and has helped me to help many people. I have to tell you, I love helping people. I love educating individuals. And I'm going to say probably about 5-6 years ago, I could see what was happening in our economic climate. I've been in the real estate industry for probably well over 35 years. And I'm kind of a little embarrassed to mention that because it's probably longer than the age of some of you that are on this webinar. So don't hold that against me. It is kind of funny how things have changed, the ups and downs that we have experienced in this industry. But this webinar is not just for real estate agents, it's for everyone. Because if we're not educated about how credit works, we're not doing our families any justice at all. So today we're going to have some fun, and we're going to cover a few different areas here. We're going to cover financial literacy. We're going to take a little challenge test. It's going to be fun, so be excited about that. We're also going to cover the 10 greatest myths about your credit, and today's realities, and ultimately the solution. So my friends, something that you need to ask yourself: are you financially literate and responsible? And are you protecting yourself and your family? Do you have peace of mind? This could be for yourself, your children, your relatives, anybody that you know. This is something that could affect them. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started, and we're going to take this challenge. So I'm going to encourage you to have a paper and pen available to you, and we're going to get started with challenge question number 1. Do you know your current FICO score? Yes or no? Just make a column for the yeses and a column for the nos, and just check them off as we go down. Question. If you know your FICO score, do you have a 740 or above so that you can save the most amount of money and have the most control over your financial position? Yes or no? Challenge 3. Do you have all of the following? Last will, living trust, health care power of attorney, and a financial power of attorney? Yes or no? Challenge question 4. Do you have all your personal and financial documents and information organized and in a place that the appropriate people can readily and easily find it if something were to happen to you? Yes or no? Challenge question 5. Are you aware that identity theft is the fastest growing crime in our country today? Yes or no? Question 6. Do you have some type of identity theft protection currently in place? Yes or no? Challenge question 7. Do you feel that you are on track to be debt-free at this point in your life? Yes or no? Challenge question 8. Do you currently have a budgeting and debt payoff tool or system that helps you pay off your debt most efficiently and enables you to know the exact amount and year that you will be debt-free? Yes or no? Challenge question 9. Do you feel that your formal education or your upbringing sufficiently prepared you to appropriately manage your finances and important personal matters as it relates to protecting your identity, your credit, assets, real estate, personal property, and family? Yes or no? Challenge question 10. If you knew of a way at an affordable price to get all the education and services you needed to protect yourself and your family, would you be interested in knowing how? Yes or no? Congratulations on completing the challenge. Now, if you answered yes to 7 or more of the questions, congratulations. You are financially literate, likely responsible for protecting yourself and your family, and probably enjoy peace of mind knowing you have everything in order. Awesome. Congratulations to you. But if you answered yes less than 7 times, you're likely leaving your family unprotected, likely not handling your financial matters as you probably should, and you likely don't have the peace of mind you probably want. So therefore, the biggest question for you is, are you willing to do something about it? And obviously you are, or you wouldn't be on the webinar today. What we're going to share with you today can help you get on the road to protecting your identity, your credit, your family, your finances, and your future, and how you can truly have the peace of mind that you and your family deserve. So we're going to start with the 10 greatest myths about your credit. Myth number 1, credit agencies are empowered with some kind of governmental authority. How many times have you heard that? They refer to themselves as credit bureaus. Credit agencies have no legal authority at all. They're just simply private companies who are in the business of selling credit information to anyone who is willing to buy it. In fact, one of the credit reporting agencies isn't even in the United States. They're in Canada. So my friends, they are private companies. They are not bureaus, and you're not to be intimidated by that. Myth number 2, the credit agencies are required by law to keep derogatory items on your credit report for 7 to 10 years. How many of us have heard that? Oh my goodness, I have bad credit. It's going to have to stay with me for 7 to 10 years. Many people think that, but it's only because they don't know any better. There is no law that says that credit agencies can report anything on us at all. Just the opposite is true. So credit agencies are required by law to automatically remove all derogatory items older than 7 years, or in the case of bankruptcy, 10 years. And I've got to tell you, friends, I have seen reports where people have had bankruptcies on for 15 years. They should have been off in 10, off of their credit file. I have seen items on individuals, for collections or charge-offs for more than 7 years, maybe 10. And the problem is that in the credit industry, you are guilty until you can prove your innocence. So it's up to you to fight for those derogatory items to be removed. They're not going to be sitting there waiting to say, oh, Mr. Joe Smith, it's time for his bankruptcy to come off now. It doesn't always work like that. You have to be proactive. Is it impossible to get a bankruptcy off? Many people think it is. It's one of the easiest things to remove. Bankruptcies come off just like any other derogatory that is incorrectly reported, obsolete, erroneous, misleading, incomplete, or that cannot be verified. That is the key. Can it be verified in a timely manner? Remember, the nature of the item has nothing to do with its removal under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. The credit reporting agencies have 30 days to respond to anything that's being disputed. If they cannot respond within that amount of time, then the law says they must remove it. Whether it's yours or not, they have to have that information verified. Credit reporting agencies don't always follow the letter of the law when putting information on your credit file, so you need to do your due diligence. Myth number 4, the information on your credit report cannot be changed. Any of you hear that before? The opposite is true under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And both federal and various state laws require that items be removed if they are not 100% accurate or cannot be verified in a timely manner. That is the law. Myth number 5. It is illegal or immoral to have the information on your credit report altered or removed. Not only is it not illegal or immoral, but it is what the Fair Credit Reporting Act is all about. It was enacted by Congress for the very purpose of protecting consumers from the intrusion of the credit reporting agencies into our lives. We did not give them permission to collect this information, and we have rights under the law that gives us, the permission or the mere act of disputing anything unless they can verify it within 30 days. That's our right. Congress made that an even playing field on our behalf. Myth number 6, paying a past due debt removes it from your credit report. Oh, my friends. Just because you pay an old debt does not change or erase the fact that at one time you were not paying on it as you agreed. Can this record be changed? Absolutely it can, by disputing it. Myth number 7, inquiries are not derogatory and will not affect your credit standing. Anything that erodes your financial credibility is damaging to your credit standing. In the case of inquiries, 1 or 2 is not too bad, but what happens is that sometimes individuals will go purchase a car and the car dealerships will run your credit through maybe 6 or 7 different lenders, and they pull your credit that many times. It's not good. And how that reflects on your credit report is that you're dying to get credit. You're desperate, and it doesn't really look good when you're applying for credit on behalf of the lender when they look at it. You don't want to appear desperate. Myth number 8, if you get a derogatory item removed, it will just come back. Not if it's removed legally. When it is removed with cause under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it cannot legally be placed back on your credit report. The same law that required its removal prohibits it from being placed back. Very important to know. Sometimes collection companies will sell the debt over and over again, but legally it is to be reported one time under one permit number. Other than that, they are breaking the law. Number 9, this is my favorite. A debt collector can call you repeatedly at work, threaten to sue you, take your house, or put you in jail if you don't pay up on an old credit card bill. Know your rights under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Knowledge is power. An educated consumer is a smart consumer. That goes for everything in our life, is to just become more educated so you can make some good decisions. The federal law enacted in 1977 to curb abuses by third-party debt collection agencies carries protections against harassment, which they do, threats, which they do, unwanted calls to the workplace, which they do, and disclosing the existence of debts to friends and neighbors, which they do. Consumers contacted by debt collection agencies can request written verification or proof of their debts. Excuse me, but they must do so in writing with a validation of debt letter sent certified mail within 30 days of the initial contact from the collector. Collection calls and letters must stop until the debt is verified. We do have a validation of debt letter that I can send you if you need it. And there's some specific things according to the law that the debt collector must validate before they can collect on it. And many times after they receive a letter, you won't hear from them anymore. And sometimes they will continue to harass you, but they're breaking the law. So it's very important that you understand how this game is played and play it correctly. You're going to send this validation of debt letter to them certified mail, and keep the receipt from the postmaster, that you sent a certified mail, the card that you prepare, the green card, that who signed for it. And if you ever have to go to court and you present this to the judge that the debt company the collection company did not validate this debt, there's a very good chance that it will be thrown out of court. I just sent out a newsletter last week, or it could have been Monday, earliest Monday, and it was about debt collectors, debt collectors having the challenge of collecting debt in court, because there's always discrepancies in the amount that's due. And many times these lenders don't validate the debt, and the judge just throws it out of court. But the problem is, many times, is that the debtor, the borrower, does not even show up for court. And so because they don't show up, the lender, the creditor, or collection company, I should say, will win a judgment because the individual just doesn't show up. So you need to be proactive. And you can Google the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act for extensive information on your rights. I am going to have a webinar in a few weeks with regards to that, and that'll be very educational as well. Myth number 10, I cannot restore my credit on my own. Yes, you can. You can try to do it yourself, just like you can represent yourself as an attorney in a court of law. But you can also allow experienced professionals to educate and assist you in leveraging your rights under the law. The Fair Credit Reporting Act. You can Google that as well. So enough with the myths. Let's talk about realities, today's realities. We're living in the toughest financial era since the Great Depression. An average U.S. debt close to $20,000, excluding mortgages, is what most households have. 25% of Americans have no savings, and only 50% have retirement, so 50% don't have any. 86% have no idea if they're on track to retire, and 90% have no will, trust, or power of attorney. And every 3 seconds, an identity is stolen, and over 43 million people have a 599 credit score or lower. Now, my friends, I'm trying to show you a picture of individuals that do not have their financial profile in order. It reflects onto our credit. So if we have everything in order, the chances of you having your credit file in order is going to be more likely, because it's part of the package. It all goes together. It's about behavior. So think about it. How many people do not have their personal and financial affairs in order? How many people have less than perfect credit? Do not protect their identity, have debt, and no idea how to pay it off? Do not have life insurance? Do not have all of their important personal and financial information organized and easily available for loved ones in the case of an emergency? How many times have you heard, when someone passes away and they can't find their policy? They can't find information that's very important for the family. Prudential Insurance says they have millions and millions of dollars of unclaimed policies because they've not been claimed. We tend to put everything in different places. We know where it's at, but if a family member needs to come in and find it, they can't find it. Do you have a will, trust, and power of attorney, leaving your family totally unprotected? This is so important. Many of us have vehicles. We may have some insurance policies, property, jewelry, furniture, homes, whatever it may be, and we don't have any of that information designated to who's going to make sure that it's appropriated properly, executed correctly. So, my friends, do you think that people should have these things? So why don't they? And the bottom line is it's just a lack of financial education. A little bit, we're going to educate you about credit bureaus. They're privately held billion-dollar companies. They do not verify items placed on your credit reports. They pay fines each year for failing to update credit files correctly. They don't make money correcting credit. They only make money selling credit files to big industries and companies. Today, your credit score is like a vital sign. It's being monitored at all times, and about 25% of the population has a 599 credit score or below. Over the course of your lifetime, less than excellent credit could cost you from $200,000 to $1 million in interest and additional fees. It's profound. And about 43% of employers use credit scores as a factor in determining who they will hire. My daughter was just hired with a credit union some months back, and her credit score needed to be a 750 and above. No bankruptcies, no foreclosures, or she wouldn't get the job. This is a financial institution, and if you're looking to go into that field, it's very, very important that you have great credit. From what I understand, lenders now as well, they run your credit to make sure that everything is in place there before you can, provide and write loans for individuals. About 80% of all credit reports have errors on them causing lower credit scores. And over the past decade, millions of Americans have watched their credit scores rapidly decline because of tough economic times. Now we're at the solution. The only way that you can change this course is to fix it, to be proactive. Because if you do nothing today, nothing next week, a month from now, a year from now, it's going to be the same. So it's up to you. You can restore your score, and the Fair Credit Reporting Act gives Americans the right to dispute and or investigate any item on your credit report. Inaccurate, erroneous, obsolete, late payments, charge-offs, foreclosures, judgments, repossessions, bankruptcies, tax liens, and it goes on and on and on, can be updated to reflect paid as agreed on your credit file. And that's where we come in, United Credit Education Services. I have to tell you, I'm really, really excited because we just received notification early this week. And when you go to this website, I want you to all write it down. It's www.united-credit.org. And you click on the BBB. We have just been presented with a coveted A+ rating. That is huge. Huge. We had an A rating before, but now we have an A+. So we're very proud of that. There are many companies out there that are not, I should say they're not properly endorsed. I would not do a credit restoration with these companies. They have not been in business for any length of time. They don't have a money-back guarantee, and they charge thousands of dollars. So my friends, go to this website, check it out. There's an immense amount of education, a resource library for you to help you become more educated and knowledgeable about credit education. The FAQs is a great place to go to. We have testimonials and credit education as well. So take a look at it. We're very, very proud of what we can do. An individual gets enrolled with us. It's very simple. It's easy. They can either call me, go to the website, enroll online. But if they give me a call, I will advise them. I'll counsel with them, take their information. We pull their credit in 24 hours. They will receive their letters within a week's period of time, already prepared for them, disputing anything that's derogatory on their credit file, and all they have to do is sign the letters. One to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. They mail them out, and then we wait for updates from the credit reporting agencies. It's usually about, I'm going to say about 30 to 45 days due to the mail. As soon as they get those letters, make copies for their files, and then they mail them to my processing center, and the process continues. We remove all the derogatories and the deletions that were on those update letters. We update their credit file within our office, and then we send them a new set of letters. We do this for up to 1 year of service. Now, what's really, really awesome is that this client, in the next 48 hours after enrolling, will have their own website. They will be able to monitor, they'll be able to see what items are being disputed and what items are being deleted. We will even show them their FICO score the day we pull their credit. This score never changes in our back office, in their website. It's just to show them their starting point. Because if we continue to pull their credit for them, it's going to ding their FICO score, and we don't want that to happen. And there's some privacy issues as well. So there are websites out there that will provide free consumer scores. CreditKarma.com is one place where you can get your free score at no charge, and it won't hurt your credit. You can also go to myfico.com. They will charge. Sometimes they have specials and they don't, but you can also pull your credit there for a pretty good idea of what range you're in. So this is pretty awesome. You know, the client gets their own website. We have some really important, if you see down in the bottom, it says document downloads. The credit harassment, the validation of debt letter is there, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you know, all of this information is there for them. So it's awesome. They can also reach our live certified credit consultants within the office that do a phenomenal job. They're available 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Times. I believe our customer service is the greatest in the industry, very, very knowledgeable, and they're there to help our people. This is what they will also see when they click on the customer progress report. They will see what's being disputed, what has been deleted, when the letters were mailed out. And on this particular sample, an individual started out with 10 original accounts. It's over here. I don't know if you can see it where my cursor is. It says 10 accounts. And during the process, they acquired 2 more. So we address those as well. We don't charge extra to process them, to dispute them. We just automatically do it. United Credit Education Services, we have an 8-year track record. That A rating has now changed. We are at an A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau. Served over 150,000 clients. We've removed over 600 derogatory items from people's credit reports. And we've removed over 60,000 public records. And we have a satisfaction money-back guarantee. So what does anybody have to lose other than their less than perfect credit? Documentation beats conversation all day long. I have a few of these for you. These are individuals that I also know who've gone through the system. My friend, Darby, I thought I had excellent credit but never really checked on it. And unbeknownst to me, I had several items on my credit file that weren't even mine. And the service got them removed, and my score went from the mid-600s to the high 700s. Chuck Matthews went to go buy his wife a car and was informed that he had a 620 score. But just after 60 days in the service, his FICO was increased to 799. Pretty amazing. Leonette Outlaw, in just 6 months, her credit score increased, and that enabled her to save over $400 in car insurance. It hasn't happened to us here yet in California, if you're from California and on this webinar, but it may be coming. There are insurance companies throughout our country that do pull their credit, and that is going to determine what their premium is for the year. So that's huge. Credit affects everything in our life. Mr. Curtis Batts, Curtis had a 580, and it went to a 785 in 90 days just by getting involved and enrolling in the service. And Mr. and Mrs. Moeller, after they had a bankruptcy removed, they were able to get a fixed rate loan that saved them almost $1,000 a month in their mortgage payment. And Chuck Taylor, his score went from a 511 to 700. I have thousands of testimonies, but I don't want to spend all day here with you, so this is going to be the last one. I had a tax, well, I would love to spend time with you, but I'm sure you have other things to do. But Lily Ortiz out of Atlanta, Georgia, I've had people ask me, what about tax liens? What about judgments? She had a tax lien on her credit report for years that was damaging her credit score, and it was removed just after 30 days. My sister who lives in Denver, Colorado, she had 3 tax liens on her credit file, and within the first 40 days, all 3 of them were removed as well. Mr. Downey had 14 derogatory accounts removed from his credit file, 3 repossessions, and his credit score jumped from a very low credit score to a very high credit score and allowed him to purchase a BMW if that's what you want to do. You do know that there are other credit restoration services that charge thousands of dollars, and they don't even offer the educational resources or coaching that we have. I have to tell you, there's a credit repair company, a few of them that I have crossed paths with. They charge $199 to get you started, and they charge you $99 a month. And they say, oh, we could probably fix it for you in about a month. 30 days, 40 days max. They don't know that. They don't know for sure how long it's going to take to fix your credit. And the analogy I like to use is, because I get that question, how long is it going to take? Can you guarantee it's going to come off? No credit restoration company can guarantee anything. It's against the law. But I can give you an analogy. The analogy is, I'm sick and you're sick, and we both have a cold. You go to the doctor, and he gives you medicine, and he gives me medicine. You may get well a lot sooner than me. It may take me a little bit longer because we're different. And that's the way it is with credit. Your credit is different than my credit. Your credit may be fixed in 30 days. My credit may take 90 days to get fixed. So it really depends. Everyone's credit is unique unto yourself, and what we can guarantee is a money-back guarantee. That's what we can guarantee, and that's in writing. So what would it be worth to have excellent credit? We have a one-time payment option of $499. That's approximately 1 year of service with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. We also have a monthly option, $160 activation fee and $39 for the first month and $39 thereafter. Depending on what you have going on in your credit, if you have several derogatories, it might be more cost effective for you to go the $499 flat fee. That other company that I shared with you was $100 a month, $99 a month, and $199. After 6 months, just 6 months, they've already tapped a bill up to $800, where they could have had a year of service with us for $499. So those are the options that we have. Maybe you have just a few items and it can be fixed in a couple of months. Great. But we do want to give you options. So my friends, we're here protecting one family at a time, and to know and not to do is not to know. And now you know. If you have any questions or you need to speak with me, you can contact my office, and here's the information available to you. But I also want you to go to queenofcreditrepair.com, because that is where your free ebook on what you need to know before you fix your credit is. So you click on the ebook and you'll be able to download it immediately. I wanted to give that to you as a gift. It has some great information, and I really hope that you enjoy it. And my friends, I look forward to talking to you soon. And remember, cash is king, but credit is everything. So you make it a great day. Thank you.